You know that feeling when you come home to a mess that's not just a nuisance, but a deep-seated frustration welling up inside you? I faced that after a long, exhausting day when I got back around midnight and was met with the unwelcome surprise of cat litter chaos. My name's Alex, and I'm 22 years old. I live with my girlfriend, Mia, who is 24. We share our cozy apartment with two adorable yet mischievous cats, Whiskers and Luna. Don't get me wrong, I love those furry little creatures, but they are a handful, especially when it comes to their bathroom habits. Little did I know that what seemed like a trivial issue about cleaning litter would spiral into one of our most explosive arguments in 4 years together. When Mia and I first moved in together, we decided on a little agreement. I would tackle the litter box in the mornings, while she would do the evening shift. Simple enough, right? Well, it sounded perfect when we were both feeling motivated and responsible. But somewhere along the line, things started to slip. Fast forward to last night. I was exhausted after a long day at work and just wanted to crash. As I opened the door to our apartment, the smell hit me like a freight train. I knew right away that the cats had decided to express their displeasure at the untended litter box. Sure enough, as I stepped inside, I found the unmistakable evidence, and my heart sank. After taking off my shoes, I took a deep breath and prepared myself for the task ahead. I grabbed the litter scoop and trudged over to the box, only to find that it was overflowing. It was a disaster. I had to pick up the mess from the floor and air out the apartment, hoping the stench would clear. Each scoop felt like a reminder of my simmering frustration toward Mia's lack of responsibility. I pulled out my phone, hoping to vent to her. My fingers flew across the screen as I texted, "Hey, the litter wasn't done. Again." I was already feeling the sting of disappointment. To my surprise, she responded quickly. She informed me she was out with friends, and it wasn't practical for her to return home just to scoop litter. I could hardly process what I was reading. Practical, I thought. What about the cats? What about respect? During the past 4 days, this had happened 3 times. I couldn't help but feel neglected, and the emotional weight of it all started to unravel. I texted back, "That's not really the point. The cats depend on us." A heated back and forth erupted over WhatsApp, and I felt my frustration bubbling over. I know it sounds silly, but litter isn't just a chore. It symbolizes partnership, care, and responsibility. Mia and I had built our life together on shared duties and mutual respect, but to me, it felt like she was shirking her end of the agreement. I had tried to discuss it calmly, to hear depth of feelings, but in the heat of the moment, every word became a point of contention. Finally, she texted, "Okay, I'll come back." I could almost hear her sighing through the messages. Did I really just drag her away from a good time with her friends over cat litter? I felt a pang of guilt mixed with the righteous anger I was holding on to. When she arrived an hour later, the mood was completely altered. I could see it in her eyes. I had spoilt her night. Even as we tried to talk it out, the conversation was strained. I wanted to convey how her actions, or lack thereof, were affecting not just the cleanliness of our home, but our partnership. But all I could think about was how this should not have escalated to such dramatic proportions. "We've been together for 4 years, and I'm raising my voice over cat litter," I said, half to myself. It felt absurd, yet I couldn't shake off that feeling. Mia, surprisingly calm and disappointed, asked, "Was this really worth it, Alex?" As I reflected on what happened, I wondered if I'd overreacted. Was it just cat litter? Sure, I was frustrated about the mess, but the heart of the issue was deeper than that. I longed for understanding in our relationship, not just for the small tasks, but as a sign of commitment to one another, especially when we faced challenges. I took a deep breath and tried to explain my side of things without the heat radiating from my earlier messages. But the tension lingered. How could something as mundane as cat litter prompt such a big fallout? So now, I sit here contemplating what to do next. I don't want to seem petty, but I also want to ensure that we both feel equally invested in our relationship. It's a fine line, and I'm struggling to balance it. I'd love to hear your opinions. What would you have done in my situation? Would you have reacted differently? It's easy to say that cat litter is no big deal, but the emotional weight makes it harder to brush off. How do you navigate those moments that feel so small yet become so significant?